Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to Yavo's Passage, where we will help you on your journey towards the priesthood of Santeria. Today, we're going to talk about the hierarchy in the Santeria religion and what goes in each step of the hierarchy, what you should do, what you should be looking for, and so forth. But before we do, I want to just touch really quickly, and mind you, I do have notes here, so I will be looking down sometimes. I just want to talk really quickly about something that's been in my heart. We all have our own way of life. We all have our own destiny, and we all have our own path to the divine. Okay, and the reason I'm touching on this is because I know there are going to be some people who watch the video who are going to criticize or maybe, not quite understand and try to gear me towards something else or try to gear us towards some other type of walk. And I just want people to understand that I truly do believe that the reason why there's so much diversity in the world, whether it's through the color of your skin or the hair that you have, or your origins, as well as the different religions that are out there. The reason why these things exist is not coincidental. It's not a thing of the enemy. It's a thing that God or the Creator, whatever you want to call him, Olofi, Olodumare, whatever you want to call him, he put those things in place. Okay, the universe put those things in place because we all have our own individual path to towards the Creator, towards heaven, whatever it is that you want to call it. We all have our different paths. If we didn't all have different paths, then we would not have so many options. Okay, the point is that there's one Creator, only one Creator, and we are all yearning, because that's what religion is. We are all yearning to be able to someday meet that Creator, or go to heaven, or whatever it is that you want to call it. That's what we all yearn. And so that's why we all follow different doctrines and different religions that are around the world. If there was only supposed to be one, then there would only be one. Because I don't believe the Creator or God or whatever it is that we're calling him, I don't believe that this entity is one that likes to create confusion or chaos or anything to that effect. It's just that he knows, or she knows, whatever it is, knows that in order for people to reach their ultimate goals or their highest spirituality, everyone learns different. Therefore, everyone needs a different path. So, okay, now we're going to go ahead and rest on that. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Today, what we're going to talk about, like I said, is the different hierarchies in the Santeria religion and what we need to do through each step in order to get to our destiny or to our walk and our passage, in order to get there in the best spiritual way possible, if I may say. Okay, so today, like I said, we're going to talk about that. But before we start, if you would do me a favor and go ahead and click on the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so that you will miss any of my upcoming videos, okay? And please go ahead and click on, go ahead and just leave me little comments and things like that, because that will also help me bring new videos to you. All right, so the different levels, once you're interested or the religion piques your interest, the first level is, and not really level, but what you first come in, what you are called is an Aleyo. An Aleyo is a person that has not been crowned. That's basically what it boils down to, a person that has not been crowned. So if you put up a spiritual altar, or you are, communicating already with your ancestors, if you have gotten readings, if you have gotten your collares, eleques, depending on what you call it, or you have, gotten your kofa or your hand of arula, none of that makes you a santero. That makes you something else. But before you get crowned, you're considered an aleyo. And the next step is an aborisha. Aborisha is a person that has received all those ceremonies. So like I said, you're still an aleyo, but now you're getting closer to your path, to your walk towards the priesthood of Santeria. You are preparing the steps and going through the steps necessary to ensure that when you get there, you have everything that you need to be able to continue on your walk and be able to, help others and save others that are meant to be in this walk of life. Okay, so then after an aborisha comes a santera or santero. And these are people that are crowned. Now these people have been crowned. And now mind you, all these words and all this verbiage that I'm using throughout the next few videos, I will definitely go ahead and explain things more in detail as to what they mean and what they represent. But as for now, just please try to bear with me, and we'll go through this really quickly. And so this is a person, the Santera is a person that has been crowned, a person that now is called a Iyao. So you've got the Aleyo, the person that has not been crowned, the Aborisha, the person that has not been crowned, still considered an Aleyo, but they have had different ceremonies that they have undergone towards their walk, okay, towards their journey. And then you have the person that is now really a Santero, but they're not able to practice like a Santero yet because they are an Iyao. Okay, and Iyao, basically the word means bride of the saints, of the Orishas, bride of the Orishas. But in the religion, they're like children. So that first year when a person is an Iyao, that year the person dresses in white. You'll see them all dressed in white, including a shawl for the women, umbrellas, a little hat for the men, and so on. And like I said, I will go into more detail as to what a Iyao is and what a Iyao, what are their responsibilities and what are the things that they can and cannot do. We're going to have a video that will detail all of that information as well. But so that's the Iyao. That year, the Iyao is called an Iyao. They're not called Merba. They're not called Francesca. They're not called Jasmine. They're not called Amanda. They are called Iyao. Okay, that is their name for that year, and that's the name that they need to respond to. And once again, we will talk about the spiritual reasons for that. Okay, after the person has been through their first year, after being crowned, then after a year, then they're considered a Santero or Santera. And at that stage in the religion, basically we have reached, there are many other steps in the hierarchy, but today we're just going to go up to the Santero part. The Santero is a person that now can go ahead and help others who want to come into the religion through crowning. Some can't crown others. It depends on your path, the path that is designated for you, the path that you're born with, but is told to you through your ita. Another word that we will talk about in another video. So basically, once you're a Santero, you are, if it is your path, able to help others who want to come into the religion through different ceremonies that you are now able to, do, and different things that you can do for the community. Okay, so, and that's basically the steps all the way up to becoming a Santero. In another video, like I said, I'll go further, but this page, this channel is basically about that little group right there, because there's a lot of information about the other groups. Okay, the Babalaos have their own little Facebook page and their videos and so on. So I want to keep it to the group of people who are just starting out. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Alrighty, so what I want to talk about today, more specific now, let's narrow it down. We already went through the different hierarchy all the way up to Santero or Santera. I want to talk to you today about an Aleyo. As an Aleyo, what you should and shouldn't do, or could do or cannot do, if you are now interested in this path, in this walk of life. Okay, as an Aleyo, you can get readings and should maybe get a reading, especially if this is, like I said, something that you're interested in. You need to speak to the divine. You need to communicate with the divine, not speak, but communicate with the divine so that they can let you know whether this is or is not your path. Okay, and that can be a reading with Babalao. That could be a reading with an Oriyate, or you can have a reading with a Santera. My suggestion would be, based on what my house does, my Ile does, is do it with either a Babalao or an Oriyate. Okay, and these are people who do, readings through cowrie shells, and their eleke and their other things that they use for divination. Alrighty, so that's one thing that you should do. But before we go any further, after you get your reading and you feel like, you know what, this is my path, the first thing that needs to be done is to align your ancestors. And when I say align your ancestors, acknowledge them. A lot of us have not acknowledged our ancestors, and we live day to day just moving forward and not looking back. And we have to look back. The reason we have to look back is just like the history books. History books tells us the things that happened before, so that we won't repeat the same mistakes as our forefathers did, right? So that's the same thing. You have to get back to your roots. You have to go back to your ancestors and communicate with them and let them know exactly what you're doing moving forward, so that they can assist you and they can help you and they can push you forward. And the way to do that is to acknowledge them, give them light, give them little offerings of things that they liked when they were here on this plane. And with that, they will definitely be there for you. Okay, that's one very important thing that we will detail when we speak about the bóveda and the eguns that we tend to outside. We will definitely speak on that in detail and how to do that. But today, like I said, it's an overall video. Another thing an Aleyo can do is they can go ahead and receive their eleques or collales. And then through that's a ceremony that's done. Through that, you can become more aware of what those orishas that are now given to you, the orishas that represent the eleques or the collares that you are being given, that you are receiving. Through that, you can then have a better appreciation of what they represent, who they are, and how they affect you in your everyday life. We will talk to you about that. A santero or santera that gives you these, that does the ceremony for you, will be able to better, give you a better understanding of what this represents. And like I said, in future videos, we will talk about this as well. Another thing that an Aleyo can do, an Aleyo, like I said, can get readings, they can get their eleques, they can also set up their bóveda, which is very important. That's like, to me, the very first thing that we should do is set up a bóveda. And so that we can have a place, a sacred place in our home where we are honoring our ancestors and our loved ones that have passed. So once again, all this stuff will be detailed in the forthcoming videos. Another thing there's many things that Aleyos can do before they become avaricious, okay? So that's one of the things. Just getting in tune with your spirituality is the main thing. That's the number one thing that an Aleyo should do in the beginning of their path and their walk towards the priesthood of Santeria. So now that we've touched on that, I just wanted to come out here and give you a little bit of a glimpse of the hierarchy in the Santeria religion. It's a little glimpse, and like I said, in forthcoming videos, we will get more detailed, and also let you know that if you are an Aleyo out there, please focus on your ancestors, focus on your eguns, focus on those that went before you, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, and so on, because with their help, if this is your path, it will just accelerate everything, because they will be in one with you in terms of the steps that you are about to take. They will help you move forward. Okay, without them, we are no one. Just basically that. Without them, we are no one. That's where we come from. That's who we originate from. That's how we got here. That's how we got our personality, our traits, even the good and the bad. Even our illnesses comes from them. And so we have to be in line with them in order to be able to move forward, not only in the religion but in life. I believe that as a people, if we do the work and take the steps to ensure that we are in alignment with our ancestors and our eguns, that will only open up the doors to everything that we are entitled to on this plane. Okay? As long as we keep them shut off and thinking, oh, that's stuff that's got to do with the enemy and that's stuff that we don't do, as long as we do that, we will always be enslaved. Always be enslaved, because we don't know what our roots are in terms of spiritually. Okay, we know that our roots come from, Cubans, the tambor and the rice and beans, and here in America, the collard greens and this and that and the other, and the food and the fun that, you used to have as a kid with your family and so on. Those are the roots that we know, but do we know our spiritual roots? We don't know that. And as long as we don't know it and we do not acknowledge them, we cannot move forward as a people. Okay? Sorry, I went off on a rant, but that's something that I feel very, very, very strongly about. Alrighty, so I thank you very much for joining me today. I will have another video for you guys tomorrow, maybe the next day. It's been a little bit tough for me to get some videos out with all the things that are going on. But nonetheless, I thank you very much for being here with me today and sharing this moment. Tomorrow, on the next video, we were going to talk about the Aborisha, and exactly everything that they can do to take the next step towards the walk of Santeria. All right, thank you very much. Blessings to you all. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Bye.